Alright, hello. Today I'll be doing a little bit of a pitch on a implementable feature that I want to that can be implemented into our system, and it will greatly go above and beyond. And obviously, this will be an optional thing for you guys, or whoever how it's going to be decided. I don't know, but whatever is decided, it's like optional. And if you don't, then like it's going to be kind of like an individual deliverable on my end. But if you do, here are the specifications, here what it does, here how it can improve our project, and here how it's kind of modular in such a way that it won't be tedious or disruptive to a lot of team members, or even to other even networking members as well. So before I start, let me just give context on what kind of systems there are for servers, because I've been doing a bit of research. So there's one that's like we call it like a monolithic server. And so basically, let's say you have players, they'll connect to the monolithic server, and this would run, their game here, or their game here, or run it in like little threads, and it'll communicate. We kind of already had a monolithic server with the first example I showed, and I implemented with that kind of data in, data out, and it was like, like a little tic-tac. It was all stubs, but like you get the point of how it was. We can refer to that. But this is what we call like a horizontally scaling site. So let's say there's a ceiling here, right? So you guys start spamming a bunch, and now there's a lot of computing power, and we need to scale up. So the solution, and the only solution, is to just make it, bigger, and just make it stronger, higher processing, higher memory, higher all these kind of features to keep allowing for more games to run. Also, there's also a bit of a problem with this system as well, which can be sometimes if you're running these kind of errors, sometimes one error can somehow spread and just and just like crash the whole system. That's also a bit of a problem. Doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, but there's an alternative which is called a horizontal. Why is it so small, bro? Yeah, horizontal scaling site, and this is what I'm looking to implement if people want to. So this is going to be a bit of a less intensive server, and it's going to get multiple connections. In this connection system, what it's going to do is it's going to do some matchmaking elo. So you can have actual matchmaking elo here based on these connections. That'll be done, and it will decide who's going to be paired up and who's going to be with who and who. Right? That before doing that, it will create a new server, and think of it as like we have a blueprint, right? So our code is like an instance, is like a it's like the blueprint, game server or whatever. And it'll create an instance of that, right? We know object-oriented programming, how it kind of works, right? So create an instance of the server, connect those two people to the server, and they will play a game on this server. Then for the other people, it'll make another server. So you can see how, as we're doing this and more people keep spamming us, we will be horizontally scaling the site. This way, if like something actually goes down, it actually affects that server, not the actual home server that's doing all the matchmaking. Whereas in this example, it would affect. It can be mitigated, but like for argument's sake, it's like it would. Obviously, this adds like maybe different levels of complexity. So there's some pros and cons to each of them, but going with this is in fact implementable, and it kind of actually has been implemented to some degree, and you can kind of look at the code I made. So basically, to know, there's players. That's one kind of that's like technically a server, but we call it like the client. And then there's a main server, which is going to be like a search server, which basically just pairs people up and creates a server for them to kind of go onto. And there's going to be the game server. So that's kind of the three files I had here if you in this section. Yeah. So if you look at the search server here, sorry, where is it? Yeah, so this is like matchmaking elo. I just kind of store it into an array list, but basically every time someone connects, it kind of stores these information into an array list. And then right now I'm just doing first in, first out. So when two people are in, so when the size is bigger than two, we just like take the first two out and throw them together. But you could now, in theory, do elo matchmaking. Why? Because these SSC player data, what they are is they're created on the server, and they're the server side connection. So think of it as like the port, the communication location where it's going to be like sending information. That's just the one aspect of it. But the second aspect is this player data. This player data was actually originally sent to the person from the client, from the player. And when you look at the actual attributes of it, you can see it has a user ID, it has this, their username, and it has this special thing here, elo, right? So we can set elo, we can change elo even. We can get the elo, and then we can do calculations on how to kind of organize that. And basically the game logic people can set that out, and even if they don't want to even touch this code, like I can just take what their logic and algorithm was, I just turn it into applicable for this thing. It's just changing numbers, right? So changing numbers to be now the elo in the data object. Let's actually look at an example. So sorry for the cut, I just kind of re-show some things. Yeah, we're live. Yeah, so I'm gonna click this 12.1 big boy, and we're gonna get spammed. Yeah, we're gonna get spammed. I try to make it so they spread out, but this doesn't work, right? Yo, stop. Stop. Alright. Please. Alright, that looks like 6 up top, 6 on the bottom. Alright, we're gonna click. Oh no, it's still one nested behind. Yeah, so we're gonna click 2 ones here. This one, and let's just click this one. And now they have a server connection. So we created a server, the game server, the same game server I showed before, right? So all the things are similar, and this is why it's very modular, because the server team can just operate on this. If they want to do, sending chats, if they want to do other games and all these kind of things. In fact, when you click the matchmaking, there can be different buttons that tell you which game you want to go to and which game you want to be part of the matchmaking process of. So the elo is not spread about one game, it can be spread about each different game, like a real actual like on chess.com or something like this. And let's click a random one, let's click this. Okay, there we go. And let's just do this for organization. I can't see the player number, it's kind of annoying. Player number 1. Oh, which one's this one? No, these are for local, but I forgot what. Okay, anyways, is this it here? Yeah, so this connected, we have an elo of AAT's trash, but we have their username here. This is just like these are all random values, but like it's just for the sake of demoing. Let's go to the actual server, and let's look at, there we go. So that was, I think, it was the first example, but they connected to the server. These people got matchmaked, and they got sent a port of this. So on their end, let's go back to where they were. Oh no, maybe I should grab a smaller sample pool. This number 8, this is 75, but same thing. He said receive the port number. So they receive the port number, and it's worth knowing when they first connect, they send their thing to the server, and then it kind of like comes back. And so we can just kind of do that. And all these ones have a special connection with one another. They're all playable. They all have their own thing. And it does not matter. It just right now is on the order. But you could just set it so it's on an elo base. And if the elo, let's say, is like not close enough, you just don't actually connect them. And that process is pretty interesting here. So yeah. So that's the kind of the full feature here. All of them are now working, all 12 players. And this is really simulating a real kind of system that you would see at a job or an industry, and that's why I think it's definitely a good way of getting that A plus for everybody. And I would like to also get maybe some bonus points for this very hard thing to architect. And this is not like ChatGPT slop, by the way. Like, it's not just like, oh, I don't know anything. Like, you can come and like ask me, and for most things, I will know. So I did say if I use ChatGPT, like, like right here, they just told me how to make the new servers. Oh, that's also worth noting. When you're looking at the server, because we know public static string main args whatever, right? It's an array of strings, right? So you're passing in the port number. So, okay, we're going to make a new process builder. This is like, we're going to make a new server, and we're going to pass in this port number. And there's a bit of a delay, so we create it, and then there's a delay, and then it gets sent. So, like, this is a funny bug I had, but I'm going to... Anyways, yeah. So, that's the delay, and then we send them the port number. It gets created, gets some time, 1 second to create it, and then it gets sent the port number. And we go to game server, right? And there's that argument of the args at length 1, and whatever that is the port number. So all you have to do now is change another argument to be either chess, either tic-tac-toe, and then in the server they will have a different logic. Oh, it's tic-tac-toe, so we're going to do a different thing. It's this one, we're going to do a different thing, a different GUI, a different thing. Well, actually, the GUI is on the client end, but that it can be both, but like it's better to just be on the client end. But yeah, like at first it sets up the GUI regardless of what it's connected to on the client end. But I can go far into detail. I don't go too into detail. I think of more visual. I think a visual example of it working helps people maybe think, yeah, this might get a good grade. So this is optional, like I said. This also has the ability of actually being deployed live, and I asked the prof, he did allow it to be deployed live. It's actually not crazy difficult. You could use something like AWS, so that's cloud computing that would just like deploy it on our end, and it's like also like a kind of cool thing for the resume. But and some other stuff, like even like some, I don't know everything, but like there's something like Docker that you could have this kind of so that everyone could just run this thing and not have to configure a bunch of things. So I did have to configure for JavaFX, I had to configure some things, and for I believe even like if you look at the actual player and we edit configs, there's like some certain config things about I had to import the JavaFX, like, but it's just like yeah, but that's a small thing. Anyways, this is my thing. I look forward to hearing what you guys think. Take care.